all of the speakers were confident, even in their lack of confidence. How's that for Zen? We come now to the part of our program where we're going to hear evaluations. We're going to hear from Al Davis. Please give him a warm welcome. Al is going to give Echo his... Thank you so much. You can take the mic. Thank you.
What I did not get to Rob in a timely manner was my statement about confidence. And ever since giving that statement, I thought of many other things, but I'll make it very quick. That confidence for me has increased through continually doing things that I am afraid to do, and it builds a sort of emotional muscle. Echo demonstrated confidence being up here. There was no panic. There was a tranquility that I see rarely. I shouldn't say rarely. That I see here, but I don't see in so many other places around wherever I go. I have never in my life ever heard anyone say, "No thanks, I have plenty of confidence." It always seems to be for everybody a work in progress. The speech was from a Pathways book, Innovative Planning, and I don't know exactly where that falls into the framework, but that's what it was. His goal was to establish that constant affirmation of self is a great confidence strategy. And you describe it, you describe your efforts, your exercises in that direction. And obviously it's helped. It's helped me, it's helped you, and I'm sure it helps the people around you. Because putting out a positive and confident vibration is help to everybody. It's not just help to you. It allows people to bring out their own confidence. So I commend you for that. A couple of things I would like to point out that I think might improve your presentation would be the computer that you had up here. And here I am guilty of the same thing myself. It was a little distracting. It was a little bit distracting. I think you might be well served to use index cards or a piece of paper. And I also would have liked to see you address the idea of putting some emotional oomph behind confidence. Instead of vain repetitions, I can say I'm confident, I'm confident, I'm confident over and over again. And unless there's some emotional connection to it, it doesn't really work. And one thing for myself that I would love to hear you address a little bit more, which I know you did, but what happens if I'm standing in front of the mirror and saying, I am confident, I believe in myself. And every time I make an affirmation, the little voice says, no, you're not. Or, yes. And I know I'm not the only one who has had this experience. But all in all, it was an excellent speech. Thank you, and I commend you.
Thank you, Al, for that evaluation of Echo. You can take your name tag if you like. We are now going to hear from Mickey Kazam, and Mickey will be giving the feedback on Bob Avallone's speech. Please welcome Mickey.
Feeling so confident about doing this first evaluation. Sometimes when I try to listen closely to what someone says, my attention veers off, and then I'm afraid that I've missed some of the salient points. So I hope that I can address adequately this evaluation. First, may I have the time?
Right. Bob Bonnie was 6 minutes and 31 seconds.
So that's perfect. That was great. First of all, I liked, Bob, that you came out in front of the, what is this called? Thank you. Here I go. And that you also addressed your speech with no notes. I thought that was really great. I thought it was, people were very interested in what you had to say, and I myself found that very, very interesting. You gave a good background of your political feelings when you were first in college, and that you were a supporter of Johnson and a supporter of the Vietnam War. And I thought that was a brave thing to say right now. You then went on to say that you changed your mind and that you realized or felt negatively about our involvement in the Vietnam War. I would have liked to hear a little more expression when you were talking about soliciting for your candidate, when you went to speak with people and they said, "I'm not for your candidate," and that you could have had, I think, a little more expression in acting that out. I thought that your facial expression was good, and that I find that you're a very easy person to look at. You're very approachable. You send out good vibes, and I felt that. So I want to commend you on the speech, and thank you.
Thank you, Nikki. I will hand deliver your name tent. We're now going to hear, you can come up if you want, Johnny. Sometimes we have the timer report from the seat, but it's not a big deal. It's your first time as grammarian, not timer, grammarian. So thank you so much. A round of applause for Johnny Wong.
First of all, I'll just say well done. So everyone has done a very good job. So, so about the word of the day, Rob, Mike, Echo, and Al, you all said this word, the tranquil and tranquility. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So yeah, good job. So about the feeling. Well, first of all, I have seen a lot. So, I mean, overall, everyone has done a good job. So Echo said a few, and so I will just repeat some. When you just start a sentences, you see, I probably just was thinking like that, Leslie said a few and word. Actually, Eileen. Can I speak?
Eileen. Yeah.
Eileen. Yeah, I didn't hear many so good job. All right, yeah, that's all.
Very nice job. First time as grammarian. Congratulations. Here's your name tag. We're now going to welcome to the front of the room. Excuse me, we're now going to welcome from the back of the room, is what I meant to say. Brendan O'Brien with the timer report. And Brendan, are you going to be timing yourself, or would you like me to time you?
I'm actually going to time myself.
All right.
How about that?
Here he is with his big voice. Doesn't even need a microphone.
Yeah, I know that voice. By the way, just as a note, the yellow card says, should be aware that your time is up soon, so that you should be pretty right there before you ever see the red card. That's something people aren't reminded of, but it's something to be aware of.
Good point.
So, we were actually very amazing today. Even the intros in between were within 5 minutes for the entire meeting. So congratulations on that. And I said the speaker, I didn't give the speaker time for echo, which was 5:54. It was just, you were right in there. All the table topics introductions were within the 10 to 30 second range for the question, and Aileen was the only one who got the red card. When she did, about a minute after, she asked whether she was going to get the green card. That was strange, but and then Mickey got the red card at 3:10, and I'm at 124.
Well done. Round of applause for Brendan O'Brien, videographer, unsung hero, and timer. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our general evaluator, Julie Stevenson.
I always love coming to the meetings because they are full of, it's just such a wonderful community, so many supportive people here, such a wonderful environment. And today was just another one of those days. We started on time, and being downstairs is nice, but I love being up here with these nice big windows, wonderful room. So happy to be up here. Johnny started us off with a thought-provoking word of the day. I liked how he changed the format. Sometimes people talk about a word and they say a sentence or two or describe a verb. I liked the format and how he did it. It was a nice change and just very nice and thought-provoking. Mike continued the meeting on and shared some of his thoughts and experiences, and I think it enabled us an opportunity to get to know him a little bit better. Echo gave a wonderful speech. I like how he showed a lot of his confidence in his speech, speaking one of his second languages, and speaking about himself. I would have liked to have known more of a story or an example how he showed confidence. But I agree with Al and how he spoke about how Echo did a wonderful speech. The only thing for Al I would say is asking for the time. And Bob did a wonderful job with his speech about democracy. And I think in today's time, it's really important in talking about different things that are going on, and it can be a little bit of a touchy subject because people, when they have views, they're usually pretty strong. So I can't imagine what it'd be like for today somebody to be going out door to door talking to people, maybe a little bit aggressive. But I do agree with how some people think that they can't make a change, and you showed that you could make a change. I would like to know more about when you went to talk to someone, and if they thought one way or another, how you were able to impact and change or maybe strengthen their view, or more of a story. I love stories. But overall, great speech. And I love that you didn't have any notes. I'm not sure if I'll ever actually be able to get it up and use absolutely no notes. So that was wonderful. We were all very engaged. You had a wonderful flow, and just overall great job. Another great speech. You always give such wonderful speeches. Chris did a wonderful job with the table topics. Everyone came up, shared wonderful experiences, and for the evaluation of Bob, Mickey did a wonderful job. And Johnny, he also also did a wonderful job with the grammarian report. I love how, for his first time coming and talking, he really did a great job. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Julie. Wonderful general evaluation. Before we move to the close of our upcoming schedule, I'm going to ask Chris Bassett to come up to the front of the room and talk to us very briefly about pathways. This will whet your appetite for next week.
Hi, so everyone hopefully have a copy of this How to Log in the Pathways for the first time. I'm just going to briefly go over these instructions. So the first step is to go to Toastmasters.org and click the Login button at the top of the screen. That'll take you to the login window. So the second step is to click the Forgot Password, and this is even if you haven't set up a password yet, you still click Forgot Password if it's your first time logging in. So then that takes you to the step 3, where you enter the email address you use to sign up for membership with our club. That's the email address that Toastmasters International has for you. You put that email address in, press submit, and they will send you an email with instructions to set your password. So then you use that new email, the email address that you put in, and the new password you set up, and you put it into the login page, which you get to after doing step 1 again. And then once you're logged in, you can access all parts of Toastmasters.org, including pathways. That's it. If you have any questions, please come talk to me after the meeting.
Round of applause for Chris. Another one of our unsung heroes doing lots of stuff behind the scenes, and I, with lack of confidence, say to you, I'm sorry, I didn't manage the time very well, so please forgive me. Robert, we're now going to hear about the upcoming schedule.
Well, I'm going to make a statement, and that statement is, I don't normally raise my hand to speak, but I did today, because whether I actually have the role is questionable. But this was one of my favorite, very, very favorite things. I've joined Toastmasters maybe 25 years ago, maybe more, and I did, because a speech that I gave maybe 5 years after I joined was called a 3-letter word that could destroy your life. It's called child. And what it did to my early life was devastating. The things I couldn't do, the things I was afraid to do, and it was all because of being shy and doing things that I shouldn't have done to get around it. So this was a very, very important speech for me. And I think I'll put myself down. To do this speech, I'll have to probably write it, because I'm sure I can't find it. But I'd like to make that performance one more time, because it is so devastating to let shy take over your life. And it did mine, to the point where I used to say, today I've got the baddies. And it was an anxiety attack, and I called it the baddies. And I couldn't go out of my house to do something. So, I mean, you might say, how do you do that today? Probably a lot of it is because I came to Toastmasters, and I got in front of people, and I made speeches. And it wasn't easy in the beginning, but it got easier and easier. But today, even when I get up to make a speech, I feel the same terror that almost the very first time. Then once I get up there, it's gone. But it's always good. Anyway, enough of me. Somewhere we've got an agenda. Sergeant of Arms next week is Peter Ash.
Yes.
Okay. Timer will be made. No, the timer is actually I think it's Julie. Okay. 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 Video is Brendan.
Yes.
President is Rob.
Yes.
Toastmaster is Leslie. Yeah. Okay, she's coming early for it. Miriam Echo.
Yes.
Thought joke is Peter Fordham. First speaker is Jane. And I'm putting you down for what, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
And your evaluator will be Chris.
Sure.
I need 3 evaluators.
Head of the speech sorry.
Well, they won't,
They don't have to say anything, but I have 3 different forms. They just hand them to me.
all right, I'll do that. All right, second speaker is Peter Ash. I
Yep,
don't know if it's any time,
that's 6 to 8 minutes.
but, yeah, I don't know. So, I don't think we're gonna have table topics.
Let's save table topics for last if we have time.
Hold on, okay. The evaluator for Peter is Eileen, and I have Johnny down for table topics, but we'll see, what evolves. And if we don't have time, I'll give it to you the phone. Okay. Fair enough? Sure. Okay, good enough. And the GE is Brendan.
Yes.
Okay. And subs, I've got down Bob Avalon, I've got down Rob, and I've got down myself. And that's fine.
That's great. Thank you, everyone. That's all we need for today.
That's a very short schedule.
What school are you
One other thing I'd like to say,
A very quick announcement from Chris.
next week Jane is giving presentation on pathways. And if you want, you can bring in your computer and log into Pathways using the instructions I just gave you and then follow along with the presentation. So that's an option if you want to do that.
I couldn't get out.